Thank you for tuning into The Truth with Trinity, and I am your host, Trinity. And without further ado, I'd like to jump into this episode's topic, which is attacking black women part of being masculine in the black community? I'm going to try to make this episode as short as possible. And I wanted to start off by saying that this episode is not to take away from the fact that more than just American black women have voiced their oppression at the hands, of men, including violence. But this episode is about black men and how some of them treat black girls and women. I believe that because the black man has lacked the ability to own land, possess American political or judicial power, nor massive power in regards to, finances, they feel that they can express their masculinity through objectifying and oppressing black women the most. Okay? And just like many black men will rightfully exclaim that the black woman was mentally bamboozled into the feminist movement only to increase the numbers for the white feminist. Okay, so there's an argument which I somewhat agree with, pretty much, that the only reason why the white feminist included black females was to increase their numbers for voting, to have more numbers. But the black woman definitely you know had no recollection or knew anything really or could relate to any struggle that white women went through in their homes in the suburbs, pretty much. But so is it that the white male side of America only bonds with the black man in the subjugation and degradation of women, preferably black women. Okay? So just like, the black man can, argue that, hey, the white feminist movement was never truly for black women, so can also be said that the white males only bond with black men really in, subjugation of women. And, I would say maybe war, when it's time to fight in war. Because they surely aren't going to sit around with black men and degrade their own women right alongside you. So, white men, they'll bond with you and, thinking that a woman's hot and, maybe wanting to, have intercourse with her, but they're not going to sit around and, degrade their women with you. The black man states that he is oppressed inside of America. Excuse me. So let me repeat that. The black man states that he is oppressed inside of America. Yet the black man comes home and turns that same energy to the women, young and old. One thing that the Willie Lynch letter does state is that the young black male must be strong for manual labor and ready to breed. And that's what we see a lot from the everyday average black man. So we're not going to take away from the black politicians, the black college male grads, the ones that are succeeding in life, and just minding their own business and being positive. So we're not taking away from that, but we're talking about there's only a 13 or 11% percentage of blacks, period, in this country. So that includes males and females, and you have to think there's more black females than males. Okay, so that means out of that small percentage of black males that we do have, you know, more of them are exhibiting their masculinity through, doing things that are not helping the black community and just, having lots of children and just ending up in jail. So this is the way a lot of our young black males are exhibiting their masculinity and, hate to say it, but mistreating women and children as if this is their right to passage to manhood. But I asked the black man in the year 2021, is that all he has attached to his manhood? Is the manual labor? Is being known for being strong with his muscles and to breed mass children? Is that all he's going to be known for in 2021? What we need is more young black male children who will grow up educated so they won't be in unhealthy competition with the black females. That's one thing that hurts us in the black community when you have other races of men, they're competing against each other. We have the black man competing against his own woman. Okay? And the way that we can stop that is if we have more black men that were educated so they won't feel insecure around educated black women because their criminal records won't be messed up. You know, we're teaching them at young ages, 2 years old, 3 years old, 5 years old, hey, you're going to go to school. So we're not just teaching the young black females these things and these traits, we're also encouraging the black male to do these traits as well. Okay, so that they won't grow up so violent and angry. We need more black men who are raised to have a positive purpose in life so that when they get grown as an adult, they don't become mad at themselves and women and their children when they find out the false reality doesn't support real families. Okay, so when they find out drug dealing will get you in jail, it's not going to help you be around to raise your children. When you find out that a woman's not going to just be happy off of sex alone, that you have to have education and you have to have discipline as a man. So when that false reality doesn't support the real family, okay, things that real families need, okay, we need more black men who will discourage behavior from other unconscious black men, such as calling black women out their names. Okay, so we need more black men to stop acting like it's harmless, it's careless. There's nothing wrong with calling a woman the H word, the B word, and that she's not going to feel internally abused, even if she calls herself these names and are unaware, and think that you're not going to suffer any backlash back from this as a black man. We need more black men that are going to sit and stand around and say, hey, don't talk to her like that. We need more black men that are willing to put other black men in check as if black women are valuable. We need let me see, carelessly creating kids throughout the community, okay? So we need less black men doing that, carelessly just creating kids and blaming it on all on women. Okay, like, hey, I didn't know that she was going to get pregnant, things of this nature, okay? We need less black men beating and physically beating on women, beating on kids. Okay, we need less gun violence in our communities. How are black women and kids supposed to look up to black men and a stray bullet hits a kid or something because the black man didn't have the self control not to engage in gun violence, really upon himself and around other children being around. So he couldn't hold it inside. He didn't care who was around. He had to just let off a couple rounds. We need less black men that are not thinking. We need more of them to be critical thinkers, okay? Or voicing any threats toward them. So we don't need black men voicing threats towards kids and women. Instead of black men being known for spending idle hours on the block creating mischief in his neighborhood, they should be huddling in groups, holding meetings on how they can educate, cultivate, and keep their own neighborhoods safe. Because these neighborhoods include your own mothers, aunts, sisters, daughters, and sons. We need more black men who display their masculinities in ways that will place more black women at ease and security, not to terrify or murder them. The black woman should never have to see a group of men in the hood and foresee trouble on the horizon. She should be made to feel safe while she is in your presence, black man. Positive ways that black men can display masculinity that will help develop more black women and girls' trust. Okay, so let me repeat that. These are going to be some of the ways that I discuss right now that will help black women and black girls develop trust in a black man's masculinity. Because you hear so many black men saying, hey, the black woman doesn't want me to be masculine. She feels threatened by my masculinity. Well, the thing is, you have some black men who can say that because they are displaying their masculinity in a positive way. And maybe there are some black women that have been so abused and misused at the hands of another man's black masculinity that she doesn't know how to handle when a man's trying to just be a helping person to her and protect her. But then we have such a large group of our black men that have misused and not been properly taught how to display their masculinity, that it causes so much distrust in the black woman and black girls. But here's some of the positive ways that a black man can show, his masculinity in a positive way. Show a black woman you can hang out and pay attention to her for more than just sex. That you can hang out, that you'll answer your phone, that you will pay attention to her. She doesn't have to take off her clothes for her to get attention from you. That's how you can show your masculinity in a positive way, so she can hang around you and get to feel your essence without having to have sex. Okay, encourage black women to put more clothes on, that you'll find them attractive if they're not showing all their body parts to you. Okay? Show black women you won't pressure her for sex. Okay? So a lot of guys will say that, I'm not pressuring a woman for sex, but we need more black men not to just vocalize it out their mouth, but to actually show it, so it to be a verb, to show action, that you won't pressure black women for sex. Don't rub in black women's face that you can leave her for other women once she creates a family with you, because this is a form of mental abuse. Okay, and this happens a lot in the black community, especially where there's relationships and serious relationships, and especially some black women. I can't speak for all black women, because I'm sure there's some black men that have been left in bad situations with children themselves. But we're talking about predominantly, the black woman, how she has been, it's been held over a lot of black women's heads by black men. Like, I can leave you with these kids, okay, if you don't do what I tell you to do. And, that's not the way that a real man handles situations in the home. I encourage the black man to have a higher intellect to be able to maintain some type of stability and control over his home, other than trying to break a black woman in those certain ways, because in retrospect it helps to break the black children as well once the black woman is broken. That's why they say nations are broken. And because I see that a lot in the black community, a lot of black men exerting their masculinity by exhibiting how many women they can sleep with, and pushing this in black women's faces, especially after they have children by them, to try to get a black woman to do something that they want them to do. A true man is not about the quantity of women that he has. It's about the quality of how he treats his woman and his wife and his children. And he's creating legacies, not burdens and misery, and children that can say, hey, I know that's my father, but they don't know you. They don't know you because they've never lived in the same home with you. Okay, so that's what we need, more black men displaying their masculinity in those ways. We need more black men to raise male sons to educate themselves to obtain college degrees or create their own businesses, so that they will have more than just sex to offer a woman. Because I find that a lot in the black community. We have a lot of black men that can exert their masculinity in the bedroom, but once the bedroom is over with, they get frustrated and want to leave the relationship because they have nothing else to offer. They get upset and they don't understand that it takes more than just a physical component to be able to stabilize a relationship with a woman. It takes more than just money as well. It takes all. It's about a holistic approach. It's mentally, spiritually, physically, and financially. So it's all four that it takes. But we need more black males that are growing up in the homes that are being taught that this is what's expected of them being grown, not being a dope dealer, not going to jail, not running in and out of court. These are things that are not useful to any woman, less alone the black woman. I wanted to say also, do not find amusement. So we need less black men that are finding amusement or laughter in seeing a black woman being mistreated or attacked in your sight. Okay, because that happens too. A black man could be sitting around, on the corner, beating on, cursing out a black woman. A black man just sitting out because they have such hatred for black women from their own personal situations that they think this black man is just putting a black woman in her place. But what he's doing is he's degrading and downing and destroying a black woman. And it's also destroying black women from in the future trusting any other men. And no other quicker way to destroy a black woman's trust permanently in black men is for there to be a group of black men around, and for one black man or two black men to be mistreating a black woman, and that black woman see the other black men will not even stop that black man from doing it. So nothing destroys the black woman more and the trust, because this will help more black women identify safety. So we need more black men that will not allow this to happen in his sight, because this will help more black women identify safety and walls of protection and mentally reference these attributes to black men. So if more black men would come to the black woman's aid, she could identify the black man with security. Okay? Furthermore, it will help black women to think that when she is around black men, that she has a higher chance to be protected. So hey, if there's some black men around, hey, I know there's a chance that, I might can make it home safely. I know, that I'm going to be taken care of, so to speak. For the black woman has to see that the black man's masculinity can work to protect her, not to destroy her. That pretty much concludes this segment. It's been a pleasure talking with you all. If you like what you heard, please hit the like button. If you'd like to hear more content when it becomes available, if you're listening on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. You can listen to my podcast on YouTube, Spotify, and Anchor. If you'd like to get in touch with me, you can at thetruthwithtrinity.com. And always remember, if you can't tell the truth with anyone else, you can with Trinity. Till next time, take care.